Hello everyone, I'm Professor Nayanasni, Department of Information Technology, Parvatibai Genba Mose College of Engineering, Wagholi, Pune. So in this session, we'll move with the second point of your 6th unit, that is your software configuration management tools, and different trends are there, recent trends in software development. So we'll see one by one. Firstly, we'll see the software configuration management tool. So any tool in a software configuration should have three primary features. The first one is your concurrency management. So when two or more tasks are happening at the same time, it is known as the concurrent operation. Or when two parallel processes are moving or executing, that is called as the concurrent processes or concurrent operations that are happening in your PC or on your system. So the concurrency in context to software configuration management means that the same file can be edited by the multiple persons or numbers of persons are working on a same file at the same time. So that is your concurrency management. So in software configuration management, if there are numbers of people involved in software development, so the concurrency management is the major key feature which need to be managed, as there are certain tools available for the concurrency management also. So the second one is the version control, as we are updating the version each time. So if there are any change, if there is any error in the current version, so you can easily go with the previous version, or you can easily get available the previous version. So that is called as a version control. As you are going with, suppose you take the example of WhatsApp, if you have certain third number version of your WhatsApp and it is not working properly, so the developer should control that version. That means the developer should avail the version number 2 because it was working fine, and if we make any changes, that is your version number 3. So if the 3 is not working, so you can easily get available the version number 2. So that is your version control. So the changes and the whatever we are saving or whatever changes we are making to the file, it should be always available, and it should be always we can get from the previous version in case if there is any issue in the current version. So that is called as a version control. Third one is the synchronization. So synchronization is nothing but when there are multiple copies in the background which are running for the same application. So suppose you are taking the example of there are 3 copies which are stored or which are edited by 3 different persons, and that copies data is stored in the repository. Suppose the 3 copies contain the a variable and its value is 10. In that case, if the A application, A, B and C, so the A application is altering the value of A which is equal to 10. So if the alteration value of changing value is 15 for A application, then simultaneously the B and C should be altered or should be changed. That means the synchronization for updating the variable should be maintained. Same as if the user can check out more than one files or the entire copy of repository, then the user work on the needed file and it should be checked for the changes that has been made to the repository. Then they can synchronize their local copies to stay updated with the changes which is made by the other team members. So synchronization is nothing but if you are making any change in the local copy, so that may be changed in all the copies which are used by all other developers and also in the repository, so that everyone gets the updated copy and everyone works in a synchronization. So there is no case that one is working on A equal to 10 and other is working on A equal to 15. So it should always happen the synchronization in your configuration management. So this was the 3 key feature which is used in software configuration management. So there are different tools, popular tools which are used for the synchronization or the configuration management. The first one is the GitHub. Second is the Team Foundation server. So Team Foundation is the group of tools and the technologies that enable the team to collaborate and coordinate for the building of the product. So whenever you are using the collaborative development, so Team Foundation and the GitHub is the most useful tools used by the development team. And Ansible, it is another open source software configuration management tool. Apart from the configuration management, it also offers the application deployment and task automation. So these are 3 tools listed here which is popularly used for the configuration management in a software industry. So you have the case study of GitHub. So I request everyone to go with the GitHub case tool understanding. You can also take the case study from open source Google application. So you can go with that. So next we'll see the emergent trends in software engineering. So first one is the collaborative development. As we have previously also seen, the collaborative and coordination is the main components of handling the projects, because all the things should be coordinating with each other. If you're taking the agile example, the agile development process, so certain people are working on that particular product. If one copy is altered, other copy should be altered. So there is always the issue in coordination and collaboration. So the collaboration development is the essential components of handling the product. The coordination is within a location for traditional project and across the location for the distributed projects. Suppose the project is also the worldwide. Now in a software industry there are more globalization. That means the single project is handled by two different teams. One may be in the USA, one may be in the Indian, or one may be in Pune. You can take the example of Pune and USA. So one project is geographically distributed in two different locations. So there is always need that you should always have the collaboration and coordination among the development team. So suppose if you take the example of USA, they are working in a night of hours. That means when we are having a morning session, they are having a night session, and when they are having a night session, we are having a morning session. So and when we are having a night session, they are having a morning session. So the 25/7 the workings is going on for that particular project. So if they are geographically distributed manner, so there is always need that whatever work a particular team of the Pune has been done, it should be successfully hand over to the team which is present at the USA, because they are starting development afterwards. Okay, whenever we are handling at 7 o'clock, from 8 o'clock they are trying to do the development on whatever they have taken from the Pune team. So there is always issue of coordination and collaboration. So whenever we are using or whenever we are thinking about the software development, emerging tools in a nowadays in a globalization, so there is always collaborative development. So developers are geographically distributed manner. The agile is one of the methodology which uses the collaborative development, and there is always generally the communication happens in the internet or using the internet. Why? Because they are geographically distributed, so there need a something communication barrier. So internet is one thing which is used for the communication. So for the collaborative project, management architecture is there for collaborative development. So it is again the thing under the collaborative development. So let's see the diagram. You can easily understand by the diagram. If there are the stakeholders, then we have collaborative design, we have UI and AI app developer. So these are the team members who actually built or actually work on the source code. First the prototype is prepared. Suppose the prototype is prepared on the mobile, so prototype development is done, the deployment is done. If the code is generated by the UI developers and the app developers, then they are pushing the code in a collaborative design. Okay, the source code repository is there, they are also pushing the code in a source code and also in collaborative development. So the other stakeholders can view the code, can view the design, and also if we are seeing a different lines, you can see the different lines. So the collaborative development can be edited and pushed by UI designer and the app developer. Then the code generation is always happen in a source code repository. When the prototype is created, the prototype is deployed, and when the prototype is deployed, the prototype visualization is done on the collaborative design. So if there are any product version and the requirements, they are also listed and done with the collaborative design. So these peoples are geographically distributed in a different manner. So always there is a need to have a proper communication between these UI developers, app developers, backend developers, and other team members who are actually involved in a project development. So you can have a brief idea about by this diagram you can have a brief idea about the collaborative development. Then the next point comes with the TDD, that is a test driven development. I have already explained this. In a test driven development, you actually first write the test for a particular feature that has to be designed. So first there is always writing a test. Then check if the test is fails or not. We have to run that test. If by running the test fails, then we need to refactor the code. Okay, again we have to write the code. Again, if the code is running well, we have to test that particular code. If the code is running, then we need to merge. If the code is not running, again refactor the things and again write the test. So you can have the brief idea about test driven development by the next diagram which we can see. But let's see first what it means. The test driven development start with developing a test for one of the feature of your development, software development. The test might fail as the tests are developed even before the development. There is always one situation where the development starts later on. First the test is written. So first we write the test, we run the test. If the check fails, then we have to refactor the code. We have to write the code again. Again we have to test. Again, if the test fails, again we have to write the code until and unless the test is passed. When the test is passed, we have to merge the test and again we have to start with the next feature. We have to take the next feature and we have to again write a test for that particular feature. Again the same things happen in a rounded or circular manner. So if you see the things, if you see the flow chart, first we add the test. That means for the particular feature we add the test, we execute the test. If the test pass, we add the test for the next feature. If the test fails, we make the changes to the code. Again we execute the test. If the test fails, we again make the changes into the code and execute the test. If the test pass, we can again go for the next feature to write the test. Okay. So that is a test driven development. That means actually we are starting the development from writing a test cases, running it. If fails, again refactor the code, write the new code for passing that test, again execute the test. If the test pass, then add to the repository and start the next feature test. So this is a test driven development. The next point comes with the global software engineering. That is the geographically we are distributing the project over the global wise, or we can say worldwide wise. So there are certain things which affects. The first is the collaboration, second is the coordination, third is the awareness and communication. So we have certain challenges when we are developing a software globally. That means the software can be have in India, development can be have in India, can be USA, in China, Japan and other countries. So let's see some challenges which are in global software. The first is the communication breakdown or communication issues. Then there are main three things. First is the geographically, second is temporal and the social cultural distances. So these are the main things which can be affected by the global software development challenges. We can say whenever the software is developed globally. Why? Because the persons are distributed geographically to the different locations. So certain there are the cultural distances are there, the temporal distances are there, then geographical distances are there, because the timings are getting changed. So we'll see one by one. First is the communication, as if language barrier can be there for the communication. Coordination, that means some issues if there, then coordination issues can be also come. Then control breakdown is another challenge. Then cohesive barrier is there, cultural barrier is there, holidays in culture, you can say the different festival at the different time. So always the things are there. The low cost labor, as in USA you can see the cost for the labor is more if you compare with the Pune and India. So the cost of the particular person, the developer, is more in USA and less in India. So always there is a labor cost. Lower the labor cost is one of the issue. Then if you are taking the project globally, then there should be a skilled developers who are developing a project. There is no necessity that in Pune we have a skilled developer and in USA it will be also a skilled developer. So that maybe there may be some chances that we are not having a skilled developer at other locations. So the problems can become. Then competitive edge, misunderstood of the process or mismatch, and the last one is communication lead to the some errors, omissions or rework. If communication is not proper, it will always give you error, some omissions of the feature and the rework. So this was your second part of your 6th unit. I think it is well understood by all of you. If you have any queries, you can comment in comment box. Thank you.